Busy watching some previews and busy watching some advertisements for Rabat coming up in a couple of days' time. It gets me so excited to return to Morocco for the upcoming stage. The question now becomes, what do we take from Rome into Rabat in a couple of days? Well, that is what GCL Round 2 is for. That is what is going to be decided later on today in this glorious autumn's day in the beautiful Italian capital, as we once again return to Cerco Massimo, Circus Maximus, for the Global Champions League. If you have just joined us, 1, you have missed a heck of a GCL Round 1. 2, we have a fascinating GCL Round 2 lined up, and it starts with some very, very interesting conversations that need to be had about teams in the top, about teams in the bottom, teams mid-table fighting for a GCL Super Cup semi-final, or at least a super late start in the GCL Super Cup quarter-final. So many conversations happening from one competition. Let's talk about the results from GCL Round 1 and remind you as to what has taken place in the first half of today's competition. Because the Shanghai Swans, who are currently leading at the end of GCL Round 1, find themselves as the final team to go. Basel Cosmopolitans, Canstars, Doha Falcons, Razorback International, all the way down to the Scandinavian Vikings, including a very, very impressive result from the Paris Panthers, who jumped double clear and hopefully give themselves a great shot to go on and jump in a GCL Super Cup later on this year. Mexico Amigos, Madrid Emotion, Prague Lions and the Saint-Tropez Pirates all find themselves on 4. And then, unfortunately, tough days for New York Empire Rome Gladiators and the Monaco Comets, just unable to recreate that magic of the Canstars in 2024, are just one fence in front of the Istanbul Warriors, who, quite surprisingly, an 8 for Simon de Lestre, an 8 for Henrik von Ackermann, sees them as the first team to go in the upcoming second round. Without a shadow of a doubt, the Paris Panthers, one of the outstanding stories to come out of GCL Round 1. And one of those superb clears belongs to Clara Bizzoli. She has been a wonderful talent, someone who has grown a huge amount over the last few months here on the Global Champions League. And her trainer, Francesco Tuttoriello, comes to join us in the studio. Francesco, it is nice to have you here. I am always very happy when I get to speak to you.
Thank you.
Talk to me about GCL Round 1. That was a fantastic performance. You must be very proud.
Yeah, I'm very proud of her, of the combination of Clara and Adewin. They did a fantastic round. I think was everything perfect. She rode really good. I'm so impressive of her development, and it's amazing. I feel that I was in the ring with her. I don't know. It's just a wonderful emotion, and I hope that we can do it after in the 160 class.
Let's talk about her development, because it's easy for me to look at the championship and say, Paris Panthers have been difficult. It has not been a great season. Talk to me about her development, because this is a difficult competition. It is testing the best riders in the world. How much do you think Clara has developed over the last 6 months, 12 months? How far has she come and developed on this competition?
We need to understand that Clara was just a 2-star rider,
and here she is jumping against the best in the world.
The best shows that she did was Oliva, which is a very wonderful show. But for her, that was the maximum.
Nothing like this, of course.
Nothing like this. And then I have to say that she working so hard. She's amazing because she really believes in herself. She really wanted. We have I have to say that we had a lot of difficult time, but at the same times we never give up. When we come back from a tough weekend, we always on Monday morning we just work, stay on the saddle, and try to push.
Is that something you coach her on? Because that sounds like a great mentality, and mentality is a very, can I reach you here? There we are. Mentality is a very big part of the sport, and it's easy to jump a bad round and come home on Monday and have a disaster week. Are you working on the mentality? a lot as well?
Absolutely, 100%. I think this is one of the most important part. I always say that when you let me say this word, when you fail in the ring, it's just one stair up for the success. It's not something that
you can have a fence down, and it's 5 centimeters. That's the difference between winning and losing.
Yes, yeah. I think that the only way is work, believe it, and of course having a perfect management. And then I think like this, in a years, you can reach your goal absolutely 100%. Actually, I have to say that we are reaching our goal for this year.
Can you tell us what that was? What would you have put on paper in January and said, this is my goal for the year?
I said the only way to do big experience in this class is to having a bit of tough time in the beginning. But then our goal was to be like to jump this class with the confidence and try to do the best possible. Then we had a wonderful show in Wackerswaard where Clara was clear in the 155 in the first round. Okay, we was individual that time.
Sure.
And she had the last down in the 160, the last fence
and
down.
Like you said, that 5 centimeters changes the whole day.
Yes. So what I can say, I think we are reaching our goal. Of course, for next season, we would like to have a little bit, we put our level a little bit up.
What is the messaging now? Because what you don't want to happen is to jump so beautifully and have 4 or 5 down now and throw it away. How do you give her the freedom to let the personality shine, but try and make sure that you replicate in a round 2?
It's very easy. I say that she has to enjoy what she did, of course.
Yep.
But then, when she come down from the horse, she has just to understand that everything is finished, and now we have to recharge the battery. I also check what she had like lunch, because I don't want that because this is one also important part.
Yes.
So I check it also this, and then I say now, relax, time to recharge the battery, focus, because the job is not done yet. We need to do another round, but it's like we didn't do nothing before. So the most important part, I say, just enjoy. Yeah. Enjoy every moment. That's it. But with the mind on what she has to do in the ring.
Amico, grazie mille.
Grazie mille. Grazie mille.
Second round. It's been an outstanding first one. I hope it's a great second round as well. Thank you very much. Francesco Tutoriello joining us in the studio to give us some wonderful feedback, some wonderful reaction from that great performance from Clara Pizzoli and the Paris Panthers, who now jump themselves into a double clear in GCL round 1. Let's talk about how the teams are going to line up in GCL round 2. If you're new to the sport, let me inform you that between round 1 and round 2, managers, teams are allowed to make changes. They can make a rider change. They can make a horse change. That is part of the strategy. It is part of what makes the Global Champions League so unique. Let's bring Dan Strange into the studio, into the conversation for the first time. Dan, I see you got a start list there. You had some time to go through it, I'm sure. Take me through some of the standout changes as to what we can expect for the upcoming second round.
I've whizzed through it in rapid speed, Mark, and I can tell you, Doha Falcons and Riesenbeck International changed nothing. They keep the same riders, same horses, as they look to make an impact today, both having gone double clear, of course. Shanghai Swans, well, they have the luxury of bringing Christian Almond and Untouched LB into their lineup to look to convert a lead at halfway, which they didn't manage to in Vienna. Can Stars? Well, Sophie Hinner stays on Iron Dames Combella, and Katrin Eckermann, she moves on to Iron Dames Bordello Blue. No real changes there for them. Basel Cosmopolitans, interestingly, don't bring in Andreas Scow. They remain with the same riders but change horses. Just spoken to Paris Panthers. Clara comes in on Fantasia de Beaufort, which is owned by Elisabetta Cortinovis, and Guido stays on Gentleman. No real surprise for Guido there. Paris looking to get one of their best performances of the season. And Prague Lions, the last ones that I will mention. Casual DVZ comes in for Peter de Vos. Lady and Fernando Martinez Summer continue for them. Prague Lions, of course, won in Vienna and one of the red-hot teams of the GCL.
Right, Dan Strange, thank you very much, giving us some feedback. Saying hi to the mascots again, by the way, who've just walked past us. They are fantastic. I absolutely love the work that they do, the energy that they bring. Welcome to the Global Champions League. Welcome to Stage 14 here in Rome. Thank you very much, Dan Strange. We'll let you get back to work, and we'll let you get back into the mix as we continue to give you some perspective as to what is coming in the upcoming second round. A little bit earlier on, we spoke about virtual rankings. If you're new to this, again, we remind you, virtual rankings is a wonderful game to play that if you were to stop things right now, how would the competition look like at the end of Rome? What would it look like then going into Rabat next week? Well, Falcons Ride United and Kunstars would remain 1 and 2, with Kunstars further closing that gap. Shanghai Swans would climb over the Prague Lions because Shanghai find themselves now in the lead. Prague Lions would drop. Razorback would have no movement. Basel would climb, while Madrid Emotion would fall. And Mexico Amigos, powered by the H5 stables, would climb as well. They now would jump into 9th place. A little bit of movement in the virtual rankings after round 1 as we stand by and wait for the upcoming second round of Global Champions League. This is interesting if we take a look at the second page, because the Doha Falcons would climb tremendously, fighting along with Paris Panthers as one of the 2 bottom teams. And I'm afraid for the Paris Panthers, despite a handful of points today, they would still find themselves in 17th place. Rome Gladiators, Monaco Comets, and the Doha Falcons would then see some form of movement as well. That becomes the conversation for GCL Round 2. But I believe that we are almost ready to go. I look over my shoulder. The course has been beautifully designed. All of the riders are out of the ring. Course walk has officially come to a close. And because of that, it means that we are now just moments away from getting the action underway for GCL Round 2. We are live from Rome, live from Cerco Massimo, Circus Maximus for the Stage 14 of the Global Champions League. We will welcome you to join us. This is an exciting moment in the competition, ladies and gentlemen, an exciting part of the season that all of a sudden is moving very quickly towards that championship story. GCL Round 2 of Rome is next.